Hello and welcome to Georgia Notary One-on-One, sponsored by Source Pro Signers. My name is Tila Garraway, and I'm excited to start today's show. So let me just get things going to make sure I can see you guys' comments here. So welcome, first and foremost. I thank everyone from the Georgia Notary Signing Agents group for showing up. We appreciate it, and we're here to help all the new notaries here in Georgia. So let me share my screen and then we can go from there. So just a moment. Just one moment. I told you guys I'm pretty new to this sharing online. So, I'm learning. Okay, so you all should be able to see my screen now, and hopefully you can hear me. If you could put in the chat just so I can know that you guys can hear me clear and you can see the screen. Can everyone hear and see the screen? Okay, I'm going to assume that's a yes since no one has said no. So we're just going to make sure. All right, so today we're covering Georgia Notary One-on-One, how to get a job and how to price the job for a notary or a notary signing agent. Okay, let's go to the next one. Okay, so obviously, who am I? What is Source Pro Signers? What is the purpose of the Notary Signing Agent Group? Before anyone gives you any type of instruction on what, who, what, when, where, why, how to do something, you want to know who they are. So my name is Tila Garraway. I am a notary signing agent just like the rest of you. I live in Georgia, Cobb County to be specific. I started, I am a paralegal as well, and a recent full stack web developer. So basically means that I create things through code. I started the business Source Pro Signers as an individual notary, and it's now evolving into more of an educational platform as well as a notary signing agent's job application or job site as well. So that's what Source Pro Signers is. What is the purpose of Notary Signing Agents of Georgia? I created this group during COVID. We all been bored during COVID trying to figure out things to do. And notary work slowed down a little bit during COVID. So I opened up the group to get feedback from other notaries like myself that was struggling with the industry and trying to find work or just mentors or information about Georgia specifically. I opened this in November, and I think we're about at 1,400 members at the moment. And I'm so proud and happy that we're growing as a Georgia group, because the other notary groups do not go into specific details of law that differ from state to state. So I found that Georgia, having its specific group, caters to our specific needs. And that's the purpose of our Notary Signing Agent group. For those that are not a part of the group, I do suggest being a part of it. Put your feedback, anything you learn, put it in the group. Put your questions in the group. You will get responses. If it's not from me, from someone else, it's a very active group. Okay, so we know a little bit about me, and let's keep it going. All right, so why are we doing today's learning information? After the last topic was covered in regards to Georgia notary laws, we have received an influx in questions on how to get work and the lack of work in the Georgia market. We don't want to take up too much of your time, but we will go into more detail here about that topic. Please remember to hold all questions until the end of the discussion, and feel free to send us a direct message or email for additional information or access to resources that can assist you with your overall inquiry. So we are trying to give a solution to the problem that we're having here in regards to Georgia's notary employees. Okay. All right, so today's discussion, what types of jobs notaries or notary signing agents do, who you get jobs from, how you receive notifications of a job offer, what questions to ask your client before accepting, what would be a good ballpark figure and why, witness requirements in Georgia, reading the instructions, will an attorney be required, and a sample invoice. Again, I like to clarify, we are not the final authority in the notary law, and just as seasons change, laws are subject to change as well. This is simply an opportunity to discuss burning questions that are often asked and left unanswered or missing details. Okay, so we have to start off with what is a notary versus a signing agent, because the jobs differ, but there is some overlap. Okay, so a notary is a person authorized to perform certain legal formalities, especially to draw up or certify contracts, deeds, and other documents for use in other jurisdictions. Basically, a notary does verify identity for a form that someone needs to have signed or verified of their identity, and we notarizing that we've seen that person, and we're signing that that person was in front of us, and we're stamping the document. These documents can range from many different things, but we will go into more detail further. As far as the notary signing agent, a notary signing agent is a notary who has been trained to handle loan documents specifically. However, the word notary signing agent can be used for different types of jobs. It doesn't only have to be loans. And that's where I think a lot of Georgia notaries get stuck, is they say, okay, I'm a signing agent, where are the loans? But in reality, they should be using the signing agent title for more than just a loan situation. Okay. All right. So notary, what types of jobs do notaries do? That's what we all want to know. Okay. So notaries provide services for many documents, even more than what will be listed in the next slide. The goal of an entrepreneur, notary, or a notary business is to figure out who is your market, your target market, and how to be the first company and person they think of to complete their service. So I want Georgia notaries to please expand your thinking to more than the traditional markets. You're not only a loan signing person. You're not only a person that just notarizes a page. Ask yourself what markets need notaries and have to find them on a daily basis. Look for opportunities local to you, such as hospitals, nursing homes, jails, and virtual address buildings, to name a few. The key is to build relationships by contacting or meeting these people and seeing how they can refer you for their business. So when it comes to getting work, we have to think and expand our mind to what type of work what is out there. So for example, at a hospital, unfortunately during COVID, there's a lot of people that are passing away that don't have wills in place, that don't have or that need to have a medical document notarized. Wouldn't it be ideal to go to just a local hospital to you and see how or if that is a possibility? I'm not saying it is, I don't know, but this is just thinking out the box. Seeing if there is a possibility. Same thing for nursing homes. There's plenty of nursing homes that need powers of attorney. The person that's in that nursing home can't get these things done. Maybe contacting a nursing home and seeing if you can be the notary they call in to notarize the documents for a family. Just making the network connections. It's just like any other business. You can't expect the work to come to you. You sometimes have to go out there, network yourself, and network the services you provide. Okay. Same thing for jails. I've been told, I have not done this myself, but I've been told that people in jail obviously need notarization for court documents. There's not always a notary in the jailhouse to give those notarizations. Why don't you find out in your local community if that is an option? Contact the jail, contact the Department of Corrections, see if there's a list that you need to get on. These are ways to think out the box. And another example that I put here, virtual address buildings. So if you are a business owner, you should know that if you don't have your business at your personal address, you have it at a virtual address. Typically, those virtual buildings have an I-9 verification form that they require businesses to complete in order to get their address at that location. So why not partner with a verification or a virtual address building, which you can find that just like you would if you were starting a business, contact them and see how you can be the point of contact when they get a new customer for a virtual address. Hey, I'm in the community. My name's Tila. I do notary. How, do you have clients on a daily basis? I can come at any time. I can do this and I can do that. Explain why you're the person for that job. But these are just examples of thinking out the box. Okay. All right, let's move on. Hope that was kind of clear. All right, next, who do you get jobs from? As I just gave in those examples, you can get the jobs from consumers, you can get the jobs from business owners, you can get the jobs from government agencies. It's all dependent on how you network, advertise, market yourself. I am not a person to be on no video. I don't care. I'm not a person that likes to be in the front. I like to be behind a computer coding or doing something different. But when you are a business owner, you have to get out of your element, go out there and network, meet people, tell them what you do, tell them how you can help them, tell them, here's my number, call me. You have to make yourself available to these companies and to people so that you are known. And it doesn't have to be known in the state of Georgia. It could be known in a small town of Thomasville, Georgia, or, Valdosta, Georgia. And this is just the small town. And we know, oh, Tila's the go-to notary person. Let me call Tila, it does not have to be on a big scale. It can be on a very small scale, okay? And you can do this by Googling locations and just making contacts with people, okay? Let's see here. All right, here is a sample list of documents that notaries typically sign, or notarize, sign and notarize. Acknowledgements of jurates, advanced health directives, affidavits, affidavit of residency for public school, annuity settlements, assignment of an agent for impound and vehicle bill of sale, citizenship verification forms, divorce papers, more divorce-related documents, debt consolidations. Here in Fulton County, they have a statement of legal residency, general power of attorney. Georgia Department of Revenue has documents they need notarized. Georgia secure power of attorney, hospital notarizations that we talked about, identification verifications, jail notarizations, marriage license, motor vehicle bill of sale, paternity, power of attorney of care of children, power of attorney for living will and trust, quit claim deeds, remote I-9 and I-9 employment verification, safe deposit boxes, settlement and release agreements. I can't say I've done all of these different ways to sign, but I can say that I have definitely seen or done them myself, notarization for a settlement and release agreement. But the question is not getting to the person that needs a settlement and release. It's getting to the company that's giving them the settlement and release is the way you need to think out the box, okay? Just as an example. So most people say, hey, I don't know what these forms are. I don't know them in details. I can't explain the document. If I don't know what it is, I can't do the job. That's not true, okay? You, as we're about to discuss, notaries visually scan the document. You do not read it word for word. It is that person's personal business. A notary cannot complete a notarization properly without having a moment to visually scan the entire document. Seeing only a signature page is not sufficient. On the other hand, notaries should be careful not to invade signers' private business matters. Do not invade the party's privacy, merely identify the document to be notarized, deed, contract, etc. Record the type of document in your notary journal if necessary, and do not notarize a document you cannot identify. So we're merely verifying identity, sign, date, stamp. Notary work is simple. There is no big secret that you need to learn from a mentor. It is sign, date, stamp. Okay, so let's go to the next one. All right. Notary signing agent. What type of jobs do notary signing agents do? Okay. The responsibilities of a notary signing agent generally include printing loan documents, meeting the signer and notarizing their signature, and quickly returning the documents for processing. Notary signing agents are also responsible for following any additional instructions from the lender, title company, or signing service that hires them for loan closing work. For example, an NSA may be asked to fax back documents right away or use a specific mailing service to return the paperwork safely. Since notary signing agents have access to private financial information about borrowers and are sent into their client's home, the mortgage finance industry requires all signing agents to undergo a background screening on an annual basis. This helps prevent mortgage fraud and ensures the consumer's information is secure. So notary signing agents typically go through, as you see at the top here, the NNA to get the background screening and to get a general education on what notary signing agents are to do and details on, like, what words mean and things like that. Let's see here. So who do you get your jobs from? You get them from lenders, banks, mortgage brokers, and title companies. Okay, so how do you get that is what you ask. Okay, how do I reach a lender, a bank, a mortgage broker, or a title company? I would say the best way would be through networking again, and that would be if they have any in-person business to business networking. Another way would be LinkedIn. People don't think about LinkedIn until they're ready to apply for a job, but there are services on LinkedIn where you can register to get more information of the people you're trying to contact. You can, in our notary signing agent roadmap ebook, we have a sample contact information of what to say to a prospect that you're going to work with. In that ebook, we have like a letter sample, and you can take information out of that letter sample and pretty much contact people through LinkedIn that are mortgage brokers, lenders, title companies, and say, hey, I'm in Georgia. I cover these areas. I do these types of loans, or I have done these types of loans. If you have any jobs, send them my way. This is a part of entrepreneurship. It has nothing to do with the job. If you're starting a notary business and you are going to be an entrepreneur, you have to network and market yourself. It's not something that is going to come and drop in your lap. And I think that's the expectation of a lot of people in Georgia, because we have to do a little bit more work than other states. The expectations are that you just apply in one place and all the jobs come to you. That is not the case. You have to apply to many places. I have applied to about 300 to 400 places, and it takes time. It wasn't in one day. It was overtime. I applied one place and kept contacting them until I got on their list, or until they used me at least one time. It takes time. Okay, let's see here. Next slide. Okay, these are the type of loans that notary signing agents do. There may be more. These are just a list that I could come up with out the top of my head. Loan modifications, reverse mortgages, piggyback loans, commercial closings, double closings, purchaser closing only, because the buyer's already closed in some sense, and buyer closing only. And there are probably others that I don't know, because I don't know everything, but but these are the ones that are the most common that I could think of. So here again, don't know what these forms are. Okay, so the expectation is not that everyone is going to know everything, especially when you haven't had experience at every type of loan. With experience, you'll learn those things. However, you should be able to, at minimum, go to the job professionally, bring the documents, notarize, sign, stamp, and verify identity. And if you have any questions, contact the person that employed you for the job, the title agency, the banker, the lender. Typically, I would say almost 90 to 95% of the time of the loans I have done, the person at the loan signing is well aware of everything that they're signing. They don't need a summary. They don't need you to break down anything. And if they do, you can call the title company or the bank or the lender. But I would say almost 100% of the time, they don't ask any questions. You just point, sign, verify identity, and notarize. Okay, let's move on to the next one. Okay, signing agents are required to complete a course that will teach them the basics of what to expect in a closing. This training is provided by the National Notary Association and is a general content for all 50 states. The expectation is that you will know your state's laws and adjust accordingly. If you have questions from the consumer that you cannot answer, you would contact your employer for an explanation directly to the consumer. Number one thing to remember is because we are in an attorney state, we do not explain documents. Just confirm identity, sign, date, stamp. I know that this is a biased conversation of if we explain, if we do not explain. Because we are an attorney state, and this is a part of the law in Georgia, it makes more sense to side with not explaining than trying to figure out, I need to know these documents to explain everything to everybody of how it works. You're not an attorney. Why even go through all of that? Bring the documents. If they have specific questions and you don't know the answer, that is fine. Doesn't make you less of a notary signing agent than me or anyone else in this room. What you would do is contact the title agency. Okay, I'm sorry, ma'am, you didn't understand X, Y, Z. Let me call the title agency to see if I can get someone to explain why this is the way it is. I am just the notary here to make sure to verify identity and get it notarized for you. I wouldn't go into all the details of, okay, here we have a USA Patriot Act. Let me explain to you what it is. You're not an attorney. Stay, in a sense, stay in your lane. Why do more work than you are getting paid to do? To be honest, in attorney states, we get paid less for the same job that they do in an escrow state and get paid double. So you act accordingly. You come to confirm identity, sign, date, stamp. You're not getting paid for all the extra. If you'd like to know those things, I completely understand it. If you'd like to be more informative because you feel that makes you stand out, you're more than welcome to use the information learned from the National Notary Association and implement those things at the table with the client. That is your discretion. Okay, on to the next. Pricing the job. Oh my God, we have so many people asking about pricing the job. It is ridiculous. Okay, so what I charge versus what someone else's charges is going to always be different, so I can't give you a specific, okay, this power of attorney is going to be $50, because this is what I say. That is not, because it's a variable. It can change at any time. Okay, so when it comes to general notary fees in Georgia, the authorized fee is $2 for each notary act. The notary may, upon request of the person asking for notary service, charge an additional $2 for providing a certificate from the clerk of superior court of the effectiveness of the notary commission, if necessary. So it's $2 per page that you notarize as a general notary. Okay, let's go to the next one here. All right. Signing agent prices can vary. Okay, the way to price a signing job or a notary job, I meant to put that, is to calculate your expenses. How far is the job? What kind of car are you driving that's getting you to this job? How much gas does it take for mileage on your car? These things you should already have a calculation in your head. Like, hey, 30 miles would be about $10 in, gas. I'm not saying that's right because that may be wrong calculation, but it's $10 in gas to get there, round trip. How many pages need to print? I have about 50 pages. One 500 pack of paper is $5. Each page is about 2 cents a page. Ink is about 5 cents a page, or 14 cents a page if it's color. You have to know these things on the top of your head so that when you're quoting a price for someone, you're not just excited because I got a job. Oh my God, they called me for a job. This is taking forever for them to call. Yeah, whatever you're sending me, I'm going to take. No, you need to really see if this is a profitable job. How many pages you need to print? Do you need a copy for the client? That's a good question, because then that could double the cost. How many pages need to notarize? Is a witness required? Will the witness already be there? Will you have to bring the witness? These are things and questions you need to ask the person when they give you the job, when they call you, when they email you. Yes, you can accept it. And then when the person calls to confirm, that's your opportunity to say, okay, yeah, we're calling to confirm, but I want to confirm some stuff too before I show up at this job and don't make any money, So here below, I put here, I'm working on a quote calculator that I'm building and I will be putting in the notary signing agent group for free for everyone to use. Let me see if I can show you guys what it currently looks like. It is in the building stages. It is not done. I'm not sure if it's going to show. Okay, so hold on. So I'm still building it, but it's going to be like a website, very simple. And basically, it's going to be a quote calculator. And once you get to the quote section, I'm calling it InstaQuote just out of randomness, because we're all on Instagram. But you'll be able to put the job name, job date, email address, round trip mileage, what type of loan job it is. You'll be able to select it and select all the items. Are you printing the documents? Yes or no? How many pages need to be notarized? Is a witness required? Do you have to pick up the witness? Any additional services that you're doing, because some people do process servers and other jobs. Here you can add any additional services that you're going to be rendering and how much is that service, and then any additional details or attachments that you would like. Ideally, once you hit calculate, it's going to calculate the entire total. That way, when you're talking to someone, you can accurately give an amount of what you're quoting for the job. I'm still working on this. I'm building it myself. I have a lot of jobs, a lot of hats that I play. So it's taking me a little longer than expected, but this week I'm going to be working on it. I can't give you a date of when it will be in the group, but I will make a big announcement when I do have it, and I will provide the link for everyone to use, okay? All right, so let me close out of that. Let's go back to our PowerPoint, just a moment. Okay. So back to the PowerPoint. So this calculator should cover all the questions necessary to price the job accurately, okay? But in the meantime, you should at least know the questions of what you should be asking yourself so that you can move forward and it can be great. And I thank you for the compliment. It's not there yet. I'm still a small and low developer, but I'm trying. I'm trying because I know the needs, okay? All right. So let's go back one more. All right. So notary or notary signing agent, regardless if you're a notary or a notary signing agent, you can receive jobs via phone, email, text, or a website form. How you receive notifications of a job offer. So here in a screenshot, I gave you an example of SnapDocs. SnapDocs sends me jobs all the time. So the job, I tried to see if I can show you the link of how it looks when it comes in, but I didn't get to save one in a quick enough time before the actual link expired. Maybe I'll post one in the group so we can see it together. But this is an example of what it looks like in your phone when you're texting you. It'll tell you the name of the company, the available on what day, what time, and what location. When you click the link, it's going to open up more details, and you're basically saying yes or no if you want to take the job, okay? That's SnapDocs. I also recommend, if you're using any provider or any signing systems like SnapDocs, to save the notification, and I labeled it, I put it as a contact, as you can see in my phone, and I named it SnapDocs Mobile. And just being funny, I made the ringtone an actual register or something that sounds like money. So I know, okay, stop what you're doing. Money came through the phone, that just makes the most sense to me. That way you don't miss any, because they work on a first come, first serve basis. So the quicker you respond, the quicker they give out the jobs, or the quicker the possibility of you getting that job. Okay. On the right-hand side in black is Signing Solutions. Okay, so this company also sends me a lot of jobs via email. This is not by phone. This is not by phone. This is via email. They'll send you the provided information, when the location is, where and how much the fee is, and what type of job it is, and if it's an e-doc, and they'll let you know all the details. You would basically respond to that email as quick as possible, and then that way you can be the first person to it to get the job. I haven't found the best way to be notified about emails, especially when they're like these. But you probably can find a quicker system if you're, to get to those emails that come in so that you can get those jobs when they do come in. Okay, first come, first serve. All right, witness requirements in Georgia. So in Georgia, we do require a witness. For a deed to be recorded, Georgia law requires that it be signed by the maker, grantor, and attested by at least 2 witnesses. A deed is attested when 2 or more natural persons see the maker sign the deed, and they attest to the fact by signing the deed as a witness. Georgia only requires 1 witness in addition to the notary to sign a real estate deed. So the actual law can be somewhat misguided, but it is required for 1. But I do want you guys to keep in mind there are other reasons witnesses are necessary, like power of attorneys, which I believe they may need 2 witnesses for that. Usually whenever someone gives me certain jobs that need witnesses, they'll say, hey, the witness is already there, so you don't have to provide a witness there, therefore I don't have to include it in my quote. But you need to be mindful of some things like loan modifications. There's one company, I can't remember the name, they send these $30 loan modifications out to me all the time, and I don't understand how they calculate that price, because you need a witness. And if you don't know, you'll take the job, show up by yourself, and then it was kind of null and void because you didn't provide a witness. So the way you can avoid that is when you do get those jobs and you're not sure if it needs a witness, it will say it in the instructions. So read the instructions. If it says a witness, call them back and negotiate the price before you even go. That's the best thing I could suggest for that, okay? All right, so we went over witnesses. There may be some more instructions. Maisha is in the chat. If there's any other reasons we might need a witness that she may want to outline, or if anyone has questions, she'll be able to answer that in more detail, okay? Will an attorney be required? Okay, we covered this in our last meeting, but I just wanted to cover it again because, it is a hot topic. Okay, an attorney, as stated in our previous live, an attorney is required for Georgia transactions only. Out-of-state transactions tend to not have an attorney involved. It is very much a gray area. I'm not going to say we don't need an attorney here, but it is a gray area. So I would just go with the flow. If it's a Georgia transaction, attorney has to be involved. More than likely, you're getting it from attorney anyway. Out-of-state transactions tend to come from a title company. So if it's coming from a title company, usually the attorney is not involved and they're just dealing with you directly. The person lives in Georgia, but the property is in another state. That's why it's coming from another state. Okay. All right, let's go to the next one. All right, how do you get paid? Okay, so general notary work usually is paid on the spot. Notary signing agents are typically paid on a 30-day invoice payment plan. So if you're working with a signing company or an attorney or a title agency for notary signing agent work, it is typical for them to do a rolling 30 days before they send you actual payment. It is a point where you have to trust that the money will come through, and you have to also account, meaning keeping an account of what things you've completed and what's supposed to come in when, because they're not going to come, not all companies work well when it comes to accounting. Sometimes you have to stay on top of them. Also, here on the right-hand side, I believe it's your right, general notary work, have your payment sources ready before your first appointment. I did not. I was so off, and this is something that you may want to pay attention to. Get your Square, get your Cash App, get your Zelle, get your PayPal or QuickBooks, whatever it is you use for your business. Separate it from your personal if this is a business account. Get these things together so that you can have a way for that person to pay and it seems seamless during the transaction. I know that PayPal and I believe Square, I think there's an Apple Pay and QuickBooks provide a little tool that you plug into your cell phone and you can swipe cards. It may be associated with an app. That's something you want to be prepared for, whichever one you want to use prior to the actual appointment. Don't wait until you finally get a job to do that. Okay, now the receipt. Okay, I made this receipt just to show you how you can price your jobs. You don't have to be so structured to say, okay, $2 a page is all I can make. No, that's not true for a notary. You can charge a travel fee. It's a convenience. Therefore, you can charge whatever you want. Maybe Tila doesn't charge a travel fee, but maybe you want to. That's your gas, your mileage, and your maintenance on your car. It's understandable. A signing agent fee. So we look at signing agents as loan signing only. But who said that a signing agent couldn't be a fee since you are already certified as one? A fee to come and be a signing agent for a debt consolidation. That can be a fee. A print fee, quantity of pages printed. You have to know how much it costs you as a business owner, entrepreneur per page, and know that when you do 100 pages, this is how much it costs me. A notarized fee, $2 per page. How many pages are we notarizing? And any additional services like we discussed before. Then you total that up, and it's not a $2 transaction, it's way more. But this is something you have to decide and figure out how you want to handle these things. Okay, but I just want to show you a sample of how it can be done. All right, moving along. I think we're doing good with time. Okay, so a sample job instructions. This was another question someone asked me. So when you get the job, and it could be through a signing service, I believe this instructions is through a signing service. You're going to get the name of the company at the top, job instructions. Please contact the borrower immediately to confirm the appointment time and location. I do that immediately because half the time the borrower doesn't even know you're coming or something happened where they're not available, but I do that first. If you're having issues getting in contact with the signer to confirm, do not go to the appointment, contact the company that hired you ASAP. They do not pay a trip or print fees. These are things to pay attention to because if this person has quoted you a job and they're saying they're going to give you $80, you can't turn around and say, okay, well, my print fee is this. You agreed to the $80 and that's what it includes, everything, okay? Identification is required. Please remind the borrowers to have copies of their ID and driver's license when you speak to them on the phone. Available time signing. The borrowers do not have copies of their identification available. Please take a picture of the ID with your cell phone and email it to the person that hired you. Sign all documents in blue ink. I don't know how many times I have made a mistake before I learned to look at the instructions to see what color ink. For some people want black, some people want blue. Please pay attention to the instructions, okay? Because every company differs. But generally, I find blue to be most of the time what they use. Have the borrower sign exactly as their name appears on the document. That's a critical one too. If their married name is one thing on their driver's license, but the documents are in their maiden name, they need to sign like the document says, their maiden name. And then here's some additional instructions of what they need. This company wanted me to do. Collect valid bank information at the table. If the signer refusing to sign or has any questions, this is a good one. Please have them call their settlement agent. Okay, this was a settlement situation, and the number will be listed in the instructions. Almost every instructions I've ever received on a loan signing, debt consolidation, or anything that I have done, the person that is giving me the job has provided contact information for me to contact them if there are any issues at the table. That to me says, if there's a question I cannot answer, I have support. So there's no reason that you need to know all and do all before you go out to an appointment like this. You just need to be able to know how to verify identity, sign, and stamp. Okay, so this is a job sample instructions. I hope that this was helpful for those that are new in the industry. Okay, so I want to thank you guys for coming. And I do have some more things I want to go over. But I really appreciate all of my notary signing agents of Georgia for contributing to the group, talking to each other, giving advice, everything, good, bad, and other indifferent. It's all appreciated because we are trying to grow the Georgia market, okay? All right, so I have some more things, just one moment. Okay, resources that are currently available. Okay, so we have a list of 400 employers, and I want to explain this list. I know that people say there are other lists out there, et cetera, et cetera. This is the list of employers I have personally applied to. For the most part, most of them are up to date or should be up to date because I've done this within the last 6 months. And this is a list of employers that you would be contacting if you can't network the way you want to network. You just contact these different businesses and they are already used to working with notaries. So I created this list and it's for a very nominal fee to get this list. And I wanted to provide this to you guys to make sure that you are successful in the market. Okay, I'm going to put the list here in the group. There are 4 parts. I separated them that way, so that way you have an option to use one part. And when you finish with that one part, you get some work from it, then you buy another part. And because it takes some time to contact 100 employees at a time, each part has 100. So that's one thing I recommend. I just put the link in the chat. Okay, also the ebook roadmap commission to compensation. I want to explain. Everyone wants information. You're new to the industry. When you join our group, there's a survey asking you of things you need in that your resources that you're in need of. What I did is that I put together every question, every pricing the job, how to calculate your print fees, everything, every question you guys asked in that survey, I answered in this ebook. So that way, if you have this ebook, this is something you can always reference and come back to. Okay. Also, we have a link tree. I'm going to provide that link tree and the ebook in the chat now. The link tree is basically just a tree of links of sources or resources for Georgia notaries, information, questions you have, things like that. Also, the ebook, hold on, I'm putting that in the chat now. Here's the ebook. Okay. And then we have the Facebook group, Notary Signing Agents of Georgia. If you're interested in that, all you have to do is go on to Facebook, search groups. Notary Signing Agents of Georgia is a one and only group. There isn't very many Georgia groups. And we recommend that you invite your friends that are notaries because this is the place we want to grow. Okay. Okay, I wanted to go into more details of what's in this book, okay? So as you can see in the table of contents, we have information about notaries, how to become a notary public, what notaries notarize, what is the notary signing agent, how to become a signing agent job titles, question and answers, signing agent laws, remote notarization, to incorporate or not to incorporate, business credit tips and accounting tools, marketing must-haves, creative marketing strategies, sample marketing letter, callback checklist, counting them coins, how to price the job, notary signing agent glossary, and we give you 10 recommended signing companies to register with, and then contact us and more resources. This book is golden and it's less than a tank of gas. I mean, not a tank of gas, but a full tank of gas. I think that's something that you probably would be very beneficial. Just one moment. Let's see here. The next here is follow us. Okay. So those that don't know, we do have a Facebook, Source Pro Signers, Instagram, Source Pro Signers, our YouTube channel, which we're on now, and our link tree. Okay. And coming soon. So I'm going to do a little bit more on this one. So everyone wants to know, what are we doing to get better? When you invest in the 400 contacts, when you invest in the ebooks, these are for the Georgia market to grow. The purpose is that the Source Pro Signers website is building right now. This is where the notaries will be able to register, and we will provide jobs like go back one. We will be providing jobs like SnapDocs, but only specific to Georgia. So when you invest in us, we reinvest into you, is the idea, okay? Okay, I want to make sure everyone's able to see the feed because I have someone here saying they can't see the feed. And it's not over. Okay. All right, so we basically reinvest into you. We are creating an educational course. As you can see, Maisha is in the chat answering those that have questions. And we are working on an educational course that should be coming out before the end of the year, okay? The ebook on the job opportunities that put you in place to really work that notary license. We are working on an ebook on other job opportunities outside of the notary signing agent world that are going to help you get more opportunities. So I just want to confirm everyone can hear me and make sure that we are okay. Maisha, can you hear me? Let's see here. Okay, so we are going, and she can hear me. Even if you miss anything, don't worry. This will be recorded and it will be on YouTube within a day. Okay. We do have the ebook coming out, as I said. We are working on a in-person meet and greet. We're waiting on the educational course to be completed. That way, when we meet and greet, we can start getting you guys signed up for the educational course and get things going. We are also working on mentor meetings, a one-on-one for those that need that help. So there are things coming down the pipeline, but just know that when you invest into the ebook or into the 400 contacts, those things are what finance the next steps and for us to grow. Okay. Now we are opening the floor to questions. Maisha is in the chat. She is our lead for our Facebook group, and I am also here for questions. As I see them, I'll call them out. That way I can answer them, or Maisha can answer them with the same within the chat, and everyone can hear the responses. So is there any questions about the pricing the job, or how to price the job, or how to get jobs? Okay, so if the signer's last name on the ID is different from what is on the document, do we notarize? Okay, so this is a part of becoming a notary, and it's a part of the questions within the notary handbook. If I'm not mistaken, the person is going to need an ID that has the same as the signing document. However, we know that people's names change. They may have multiple IDs other than that one you're using that can verify their identity. And I believe you can also use someone that is there as confirming their identity if it's someone that you trust, meaning that maybe let's say you're verifying something for a friend and the person doesn't have that ID. You can use a person verification, but it would be ideal to use an ID that has their full name, because that is the way you're going to be able to verify identity. Where can I get the ebook? Okay, I'm going to put the ebook in the chat again. It is on Gumroad. All you have to do is press the link and it will take you to the site to get the ebook. Just one moment. Okay, the ebook is in the chat. Okay, let's see here. Can you please explain more about witnesses? Okay, witnesses are people that need to witness loan modifications and different loan documents. I don't know exactly what needs to be explained, but a witness has to be someone that is a third party, not involved in the signing, and a person that is going to provide ID and that can witness that the transaction happened. Is 400 contact information separate from the ebook? Yes. The 400 contacts has a separate link. I sell 100 at a time. That way you can see how that 100 works, get some money from it, and then purchase the next set. I put in the chat the first 100 set of contacts. Okay. You mentioned that that in Georgia, witnesses are required. Who is responsible for providing the witness, and how will we be able to charge more for a witness? Who is responsible for providing the witness is is based on the job. So if I get a call from 123 Title Company, they may tell me, hey, the witness will be there, or they will say, can you provide a witness? Or you may need to ask, will a witness be necessary? At the time of negotiating and quoting the price, as I showed with the quote calculator, you would have to determine your witness fee. On average, I believe it's 25 or better per witness. And that's if you don't have to go and pick them up. If you have to pick them up to take them to the job, obviously you'll want to charge more than that. I hope I answered everything. You mentioned that Georgia witnesses are required. Who is responsible? So the responsible party for providing the witness is going to be you if you want to complete the job. You need to know whether it needs to be, you need to bring somebody or if they're going to provide somebody, because either way, it won't be a completed job unless the witness is there. Okay, can we do electronic signing for other states, and do we need to be notarized in that state? Electronic signing for other states would be based on other states' law on electronic signing. So not every state offers remote notary, is what's called remote notarization. You would have to find that state's remote notarization laws, find out what their requirements are to be a remote notary, and then you would have to apply. I can't speak for all 50 states on how that would work. I know that some bordering states may allow dual notary certification. I do know that, but you would have to find out based on the state you're looking into. Can you recommend a printer that will meet all of the job needs? William, if you are a part of the Facebook group, we did recently have a sample of printers. The one that is the most commonly used and spoke about is the Brother printer. It's a Brother printer dual tray. I don't currently have a Brother, I use HP, but from what I hear, that one is a good one as well. Electronics, correct, Maisha said it correct. Electronic signings can be tricky because in Georgia, we don't have a platform to actually do the Zoom call. Like other places have Pavaso, or I think it's called Pavasco or something like that, where you get certified with that company. And then once you're certified with that company, you have a whole system that the actual person looking to get the notary comes on, and it's like you guys have a Zoom meeting, so to speak, to complete the job. Okay. Yeah, but any laser printer is good. That is correct. Maisha said it for you, William. Any laser printer is good. Brother is the one that's most commonly used, but anyone. I have HP. Some people have Brother. And to be honest, for a long time, I didn't even have a laser printer. And no one, I fell under the radar and it worked. So I didn't complain. But a laser printer is good. Any additional questions from anybody that in regards to the topics we discussed today that weren't answered? In regards to pricing the job or how to get jobs. Yes, Georgia is definitely delayed. Just in my paralegal experience, Georgia, when I moved here, was still mailing papers to the court. And that was in 2015. They became electronic with just mailing papers to the court, I want to say 2019. So Georgia is behind. I think it's because we have so many counties and everybody can't get on board. Anything additional that I didn't answer that you would like answered? I would like to let everyone know that after this call, you will be receiving a survey via email. I hope you guys received the email notification of today's live, but you should be receiving a survey after this call just to ask you what things that you would like me to do another live on, so that way we can cater to your needs. What questions do you need answered so we can make a topic and we can answer them for everyone? Having a journal is not required by the state of Georgia, I believe, but it is beneficial because you can keep track of things. I do more of loan signings type things and I typically have Notary Gadget and many other tools that I use in similar to a journal. but it is beneficial to keep a journal, because if you have to go back, it's a records, it's keeping records. Any additional questions? And I hope I was able to answer everyone's and help everyone out. This time we tried to be a little bit more structured and get more information on these slides. Last time we were a little short-handed. Just wanted to do more. So we have 5 more minutes left. We have so many things going on for the future I'm very excited about. And one of those things is the education system. I'm glad that it was helpful, April. You're welcome. And that's what we're here for. Exactly. Maisha is absolutely correct. Records are essential. You never know when you're going to get a court request asking, hey, who notarized this? Why did you notarize it? What were the circumstances? So yes, a notary journal is beneficial. It definitely is. Any records. I mean, you're an entrepreneur. Did you guys get excited about the calculator that I'm building? It's going to take time, but did you guys like it? And do you guys have any input on that calculator? Absolutely. Recording the driver's license number and in your journal is definitely a good thing. I believe for most jobs that I have done, they require us to take a picture of the ID. I usually have a folder in my computer that I save when I'm sending them the final copy. I'll send them the final copy with the IDs and everything. So having the ID, sometimes taking a picture of it is even better. Okay. Yes, hopefully we'll get that done sooner than later. It takes time. This coding stuff is not easy. Not as easy as people think. Okay, so we're almost done. I just want to thank you guys again for coming. I hope that you attend every time we have some educational and free information. And please, if you're not a part of our notary signing agent group, please do join our group, because that's where all your teammates are going to be. They're going to provide as much information as they can to you about the notary world. Don't give up. For those that are feeling like discouraged that you're not getting jobs, don't give up. You're going to get there. You have to stay consistent. Apply to as many jobs as possible. It's not going to be a one and done situation. That's the best information I can give you. I didn't start just the same day I applied. It takes time, and you have to network and market yourself. Okay. So I thank you guys, and I look forward to seeing you in the next live. Again, this is Tila signing off with Source Pro Signers. You guys have a great rest of your evening. Peace.